Nestor Hernandez is a four-time convicted felon who has been given multiple chances, only to commit more crimes and violate the conditions of his parole. The Board of Pardons and Parole confirmed one of those violations was cutting off his ankle monitor.
This issue is not about parole. This is about the continuation of giving violent criminals chances and more chances than our victims.
Hernandez had only been out of prison for a few months when he violated in March. He was arrested by Dallas police but was released 11 days later. In June, Carrollton police arrested him because the Board of Pardons and Parole had issued a warrant after Hernandez cut off his ankle monitor. In body camera video, you see him agitated by the arrest and slams his head into the police vehicle.
Relax, relax, relax.
After this arrest, he spent 100 days in prison but was released again on September 28th. Less than a month later, police say he walked into Methodist Medical Center, beat up his girlfriend who had just had his baby, and then killed a nurse and a social worker who tried to intervene. He was wearing his ankle monitor.
Ankle monitors, in my opinion, do not work for violent criminals. They obviously didn't work in this case. They're useless when it comes to violent criminals.
Carrollton police tweeted their frustration, saying, "Our street crime unit identified, surveilled, and arrested Methodist Hospital shooter Nestor Hernandez on a full extradition warrant out of Austin Board of Pardons and Parole 4 months ago. 4 months ago. We share your frustration, Chief Eddie Garcia. If the Board of Pardons and Parole had revoked his parole, Hernandez would have been forced to finish out his time in prison and wouldn't have been released until September of 2023. But that didn't happen. The board, which is appointed by Governor Greg Abbott, are the ones who make the decision on who gets released early. And we received an email from the Board of Pardons and Parole this afternoon saying that the Texas Department of Corrections was responsible for Hernandez's release once he violated his parole, and that they were the ones in charge of his supervision. But it was the Board of Pardons and Parole who released him in the first place last year, and their parole officers are the ones who monitor inmates out on parole. So it looks like they are pointing fingers at one another on who dropped the ball. Cynthia.
Rebecca, CPS has some involvement in this case. So A, what can you tell us about that investigation? B, what happened to the infant who was with his mom when the shooting happened?
CPS tells us that an investigation was opened Saturday because of the shooting, but that this family had no prior history with CPS. There is a possibility that the baby might be placed in foster care. The CPS investigation is ongoing. Cynthia.